guys, it's Brittany. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have my husband Josh with me and we are going to share the story of our weight loss. In this video we are going to share why we struggled with our weight and how we changed our lifestyle to improve our health, not only for ourselves but for our children. We are going to include some pictures at the end of this video of our progress and where we were and where we are now, and we are also going to share our goals of where we want to be. So please stay tuned. If you do like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get started. Okay, so a little bit about my history. Growing up, I wasn't really overweight. I didn't really struggle with my weight. I became a mom at the age of 16. I had my first daughter. I didn't gain a ton of weight during my pregnancy or even after. 2 years later, I had my twins. I didn't have a ton of weight to lose after my twins. I wouldn't say that I was obese. Maybe had some baby fat on me, but wasn't overweight in any way. When my twins were a year and a half old, I got divorced, and that's when I lost all the weight. I got really thin. I went down to about 120 pounds, and I still never really liked my body. I always had loose skin from carrying twins. And I was never really into fitness or watching what I ate. The pounds kind of just shed off after being a single mom of 3 kids and going through a divorce and just trying to make it. And then later that same year, so this was in 2011, so later that same year, I decided to get on birth control for the first time, and I decided to do the depot shot. And I only got 2 rounds of it, so 6 months worth of depot, and I gained about 30 pounds. That birth control just really made me gain a lot of weight. And then fast forward to 2012, I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. I want to cry. Why am I crying? This part is a little hard for me to talk about, but in 2012, I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety, major depressive disorder, and borderline personality disorder. And at that point, I was placed on several different medications, and those really do cause weight gain. There's some out there that don't, but the majority of them do. So not only did the depot shot make me gain a lot of weight, psychiatric medications made me gain some weight, and then I was soothing my feelings by eating food, and I didn't have a healthy relationship with food at all. And even to this day, it's a little bit of a struggle, but I recognize it, and I am working every day to overcome it.
Some of that was probably my fault.
We did indulge a little bit and go out to eat a lot.
Yeah.
And I was spoiled, I will say that.
Yeah, I'm a bad influence there.
But that is a little bit of my backstory on why I gained weight and why I struggled with my weight. And I will let you share your story.
Yeah, well, growing up, I guess I had more of an issue as a kid with my weight. I was never hugely obese or anything, but I was definitely on the chonky side of things. I kind of slimmed out in, around high school age or so. Sports helped with that a little bit. But around that time I was having some issues with anxiety and some of those kinds of things too. And it turns out that was related to a thyroid condition that I had called Graves' disease, something that runs in my family that I was unlucky enough to catch. And one of the symptoms of that, so my thyroid was overactive, and so the thyroid kind of controls a lot of it has a lot to do with your metabolism. So when it's overactive, it means you have an overactive metabolism. And so that sounds like a good problem to have, and it is sometimes. You get to eat a whole lot and you don't gain really any weight, but there's some anxiety and some other, downsides to it, some bad symptoms too. So I dealt with those for a while. Luckily, the thyroid got under control, and so that's been, mostly resolved, which has been nice. But, part of that, it slowing down and getting into a normal range was my metabolism slowing down with it, but my appetite didn't necessarily slow down with the thyroid. So I was still eating, way more than I should at a much lower metabolism. So all that means lots of weight gain, of course. So, I put on a bunch of weight here over the last, several years. At my highest, I was around 235 or so as of a few months ago, and that's when we kind of decided to, together to kind of, get healthy for our kids and our family and our future, and it was a good time. So we decided to record this video and kind of share our progress and what we've done to, lose the weight for us, and hopefully it helps people out there. It's a kind of an unconventional way, but it's worked for us so far, and we've had good results. So.
Yeah. So we'll start off with. So you said your heaviest was
235 pounds is about my heaviest. I'm about 6'1". I think that my BMI was up just over 30.
Stop.
At one point.
Stop. So you said your heaviest was around 235?
Yeah, I was at 235. I'm about 6'1". So I think that had me at a BMI of up just over 30 or so, which is the obese territory, definitely. So I needed to make a change. And where were you at?
So I am 5'1", and my heaviest was 190 pounds, and my BMI was closer to 35. And currently I am 152 as of today, and my goal is to be around 130, which is still considered overweight for my height, but I feel like that will fit me best. And what about you?
Yeah, so I'm down to in the ballpark of 190 to 192 range right now. So quite a bit of weight loss for me, and that's over, how long has it been now? How long did it take for you, right?
So as of right now, so I log all of my food in MyFitnessPal, and as of today, I've been doing it for 579 days. But with that being said, I haven't always been perfect this whole time. I fell off the bandwagon a little bit after having my surgery in October. October 2019, I had my tubes tied, and I fell off the wagon just a little bit around there, and with the holidays, got back on it, and then quarantine hit, and I gained 5 pounds, and that was the real eye-opener for me, that I had worked so hard that past year and gained 5 pounds within a month, and it was scary, and I was afraid to go back to where I was, and that's about the time that you started.
Yeah, I think it was partially because I needed to do something about my weight anyway, but part of it was just kind of supporting you, right? Because I was seeing that you were losing progress, and I wasn't the best influence, when you're trying to track all your calories and lose weight, and I'm sitting there, eating away. So, I think it was around that time. So what was that, in March?
Yeah, I want to say March is when we really got together as a team and buckled down and began to lose the weight. So I've seen a lot of progress. My progress this year alone, I'm not going to discredit all the work that I did last year, but this year I really got down to working out more and just eating better overall. And he introduced me into intermittent. I can't say that word. Intermittent. Okay. And he introduced me into intermittent fasting, which is how he started his journey.
Yeah, so it's called intermittent fasting, and I kind of heard of it before, but really, I didn't really do any research on it up front. I was just trying to think of a way that, I could lose weight relatively quickly and stick to it. And so that was kind of my thought was, we've tried and kind of unsuccessfully, you earlier, before March when you made some progress, And I kind of went off and on as well, right? You kind of yo-yo between tracking your calories like every day, and it's kind of difficult. So that, that way didn't really work for me, and it stopped working for you. So I wanted to figure out something different. So, that's why I was like, well, what could we do to, not have to track calories every single day and to be able to kind of indulge and eat what we want, but still cut enough calories to be able to lose weight. And so, that's when the idea came, let's fast for a couple days, right? Let's try, 2 days a week sounded like a good number, that, a reasonable amount that we could spread out. So we could have, one day, we fast usually on Mondays and Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
So, to start the week on a Monday, you kind of power through that one day. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, we pretty much eat as normal, whatever we want. Thursday we fast again, and then we've got the weekend to eat. But those 2 days, full calorie cut, we usually eat, a little bit in the evening, right? So we try to stay under, around 300 calories or so. So just enough to get by, a little snack in the evening, something like that. But that's a really big deficit, over an entire day. So, for you, I think your BMR is, something like 1,500 calories or so, or 12? 13, yeah. 14, somewhere in there. So if you think about it, you're at, let's call it 1,400. If you're eating 300 calories in those days, you've got, 1,100 calorie deficit, that you've got working with you. So you've got plenty of room the rest of the days to, as long as you don't overeat by that 1,100, you're good. You've got a good deficit. And if you do that twice a week, that's a lot. So, it's worked for us, I would say, so far, right? And
I would
how
say
have you
so.
felt on it?
At first, I'm just going to be open and honest. I thought he was crazy to even do this. Before this, I was doing 1,200 calories a day. Every single day except one day a week, usually Saturday or Sunday, I would have a cheat meal, so to speak. So that's how I was doing it all of last year and even, beginning of this year until, quarantine happened. And then I just fell off the wagon completely. But I will say, even all the days that I wasn't on track with my food, I still logged it into MyFitnessPal because I wanted to hold myself accountable. When I saw the scale and I wasn't happy with it, I could go back and see everything I ate and how many calories I ate and realize that's exactly why you didn't lose or why you gained.
Believe me, she really does. She tracks everything. I don't do that at all. That's way too much work for me. But that's why I like this diet. I don't have to really do that, I don't have to track anything. I know I've got the couple of days of deficit. I can eat whatever I want in between, and I'm good. I'm still losing weight. So that's why I wanted to do this. And like I said, I didn't really do any research on it, but it turns out it is an actual diet. It's called the 5-2 diet, where you eat 5 days normal and you fast for the 2 days. And so that's what we've been doing. So over the past 6 months, I think we should probably just count that as our official progress, right? And so, I started at, 235 pounds. In 6 months, I'm down again to around, 190, between 192 and 190-ish. Yeah. So, I've lost almost 45 pounds in 6 months. It's been great.
So, January of 2019, I weighed in at 190, which was my highest weight. I went down to 160. Gained the 5 pounds during quarantine, and now I'm down to 152 and still going. It's hard, but the days that you fast, you have to get out of your own head. You have to ignore how hungry you are, but there are a lot of lighter snacks, lighter options, or just grab some raw carrots or grab an apple just to get you through the day. But you'll thank yourself on the weekends when you're like, I really want some ice cream or I really want some cheesecake. And you do have those extra calories if that's what you're counting. And a little disclaimer here that this is not going to work for everyone. And neither of us are nutritionists. So
clearly.
So hopefully no one comes for us because we're just trying to share what worked for us. And we're not claiming to be perfect or claiming that this is going to work for everyone. And we just wanted to share our story and maybe encourage someone sitting behind that screen that's struggling themselves and have tried the fad diets or the keto or the weight loss pills, and maybe it's just not working for you. So that's just something that we wanted to throw out there as well.
Yeah, I think all those diets, they're all probably based in science and work really well for some people, but it's just so hard to track and to keep up with and to, like I said, I'm not going to be in an app or in a journal or anything or having a food scale out, weighing every little thing. I'm not going to do it. I'd rather be overweight, to be honest. I mean, I can't do it. But that's why I've liked the freedom of this kind of diet, to where, power through a couple days, don't really have to worry about it. Of course, you can't go crazy on the days off. You try to kind of moderate the portions here and there, but I'm really not counting the calories as long as I know that I'm staying within that deficit, at a very high level, kind of doing the math in my head as I go. I'm okay, and it's shown on the scale. So. And
that's where I still log everything, because I'm not good with that. I'm not good with remembering you ate a handful of chips, or you were making the kids lunch and you took a bite of whatever. Like, I have to still be mindful. And so it's easier for me to remember exactly where I'm at throughout the day on MyFitnessPal. That's just how it helps me.
I think if you can do that and you keep up with it, it's even better, right? Of course, that's even better. You'll know for certain exactly what your deficit is and keep track, but you don't have to, right? As long as you're reasonable about it, and you can take the approach kind of like I have and just make it work.
Yeah. And not only have I've been dieting or watching what I eat or just changing my lifestyle, however you want to say it, I have been working out, and not a ton. And to be honest, I used to hate working out.
You still do. Come on.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I will say, though, I have gotten an exercise bike, and when I'm feeling overly stressed or anxious, if I just put my headphones on and I tell the kids that he got me an exercise bike earlier this year, and it has been really good. It's not a fancy Peloton or Nordic track, but it's still one that does the weights, and so you can crank it up and work really hard at it. And when I'm feeling stressed or anxious or just having an off day, if I put my headphones in and listen to my favorite music and tell the kids I need 30 minutes to just do me, I will go on my bike, spend 30 minutes, and it really is a stress reliever. That's probably my favorite workout. It is way too hot to be outside. But when it was cooler, I would go on 2 to 4 mile walks. And I also really enjoyed it. I just enjoyed being out. But I guess it's all just what works for you.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, I work at a desk all day, right? I'm lucky enough to be able to work from home, but I'm sitting at a desk all day, definitely not very active. I put in a lot of hours for work, so I really don't have a lot of time or opportunity to go, hit the gym and do a bunch of exercise. So one thing that I've tried to do to kind of keep active, which has helped me, is similar to you with the exercise bike, but mine goes underneath my desk, right? So it's called the desk cycle. It's pretty cool little thing, right? So you put it right under your desk, and I can be, pedaling away all day while I'm working, and nobody really knows. So I'm getting my, a little bit of activity, a little bit of calories burned throughout the day, while I'm working, kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone, which has been really nice.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all that I've done for activity. I mean, other than chasing the dogs or the kids around once in a while, or my little side projects at home or yard work or whatever it is once in a while. But, other than that, I don't do a ton of, strenuous exercise. It's just really been, trying to stay active with that cycle as much as I can, and just watching what I eat. So very, very reasonable stuff, but it's been working.
Yeah, it really has. And now that it's the summer, we've been, in the pool a lot of the times with the kids, and that burn some of the calories. I wouldn't really classify it as exercise, but I mean,
it's fun, but you still it's active, right?
Yeah.
So that's the best kind of exercise when you're having fun doing it.
Yeah, that's true. So once it starts to cool down, I will be out walking the dogs every day and taking the kids on bike rides. I did get a bike this year also. The kids got bikes for Christmas, so I did get an outdoor bike as well, so we can ride up to the park. We have a park in our neighborhood, so that is something that I really do enjoy as well, is riding bikes with the kids. So we'll definitely be getting back into that once it cools down, if it ever cools down.
Yeah, someday.
And lastly, I wanted to share our scale that we got.
Yeah, let's talk about the scale. That's really helped us keep track.
We also got that in March when we started to get real serious about changing our lifestyle. It's called the Fit Index Smart Scale.
Yeah, we got that on Amazon. I guess we could probably link to that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, start that over.
Start the whole thing. And another thing I wanted to mention in this video as well is the scale that we got in March when we were getting really serious. It's called the Fit Index Smart Scale. And where did we get it again?
That was on Amazon. Yeah,
okay.
So we can, we're not really affiliated with this or anything, but we could link to it, right? So that we can show.
Well, I'll link it in the
and share, because
description box.
It's worked really well, right? So I guess we could link to that desk cycle I was talking about and a couple of other things that we've used. But yeah, this scale has really helped us keep track. It's really cool how it works, right? It's one of those smart scales that connects to Bluetooth on our phone on an app. So every time we weigh in every morning and can kind of track our results and trends over time. And it's got those electrodes that kind of that you step on, right? And it sends little electric waves up your feet or however it works. I'm not a nutritionist or a scientist, as you can tell, but it sends the electrodes up and, somehow auto-magically figures out kind of your body composition, your body fat percentage and your water weights and, your
BMI, muscle mass. It's really cool. It gives you all that information. Yeah. It's not just looking at your weight. It's putting so much more components in it. So if you have more goals to increase your muscle or lower your BMI, which is one of my big things that I was working on, it includes all of that and it shows it on a graph. So even if you aren't losing every day or every other day, because I know you're not technically supposed to weigh yourself every day, but I do. It's just how I do it. But it gives you an overall graph and perspective. And if you see that you're declining, it really does help. If you see yourself on the downward, it really helps you stay motivated and determined to do it.
Yeah, it helps put some context to the numbers, right? Because it's really easy to just fixate on the weights, and that's not the full picture at all. And I know that you've struggled with that, once in a while. Where it's like, why haven't I lost weight? I'm not, what? You've struggled with it. Why haven't I lost weight? I've been doing all this work and it's not working. Why? And it's like, you got to look at the rest of the numbers, right? If your muscle mass is going up because you're increasing your activity, then, you're still losing fat, right? But you're, gaining muscle. So it's making up for that. So you can't really see it necessarily on the scale every day as far as your weight goes, but, you're moving in the right direction. So it is nice to be able to see the other numbers and like you said, have those trend lines, right? Where you can see day to day, you might be flat or maybe you gained a little bit, but if you zoom out and kind of look at the, monthly or yearly trend, you can really see that downward slope and that over time, you are moving in the right direction.
Right.
So it definitely helps.
And that took me a while to get used to because I was only fixating on that weight number. And I would have so many days where I would stand on that scale and get discouraged. And he would have to remind me, look at the bigger picture. Look at your overall trend. It's going down and that's where it needs to go. So that scale has helped a lot. And so if you are serious about dieting, lifestyle change, working out, I highly recommend that scale so you can just see the overall picture and the overall numbers.
Yeah, and there are others out there, of course, that work similar, I'm sure. But definitely recommend if you grab something like that, one that has the Bluetooth capability and an app, and you can track on your phone. It's obviously just a lot easier to be able to pull it up and look at it when you need to. So
yeah. So we're both going to continue the fasting and continue increasing our exercise, especially, like I said, as it cools down here. So another thing that is a part of my weight loss journey is a mommy makeover, and I'm finally doing it. I have worked so hard to not only carry 4 babies, but I also have worked really hard to lose this weight and get into a better mind state and a healthier relationship with food. I still struggle with loving my body. I have a lot of loose skin that still discourages me because I'm working so hard to lose weight, and I don't see much progress in my midsection, just overall, just because of all the skin. And so my supportive husband is going to support me on this journey, and I'm going to be doing a tummy tuck, lipo of the flanks, a breast lift, and augmentation. And that will be happening in about a month or so. I am super excited and a little bit nervous, but I'm ready. I'm ready to love my body and see the results that I've been working hard for. And even after that, I'm still going to continue to fast. I'm still going to continue to log everything in my FitnessPal because I need to continue to hold myself accountable, and I don't want to go through this whole process to just have that unhealthy relationship with food again and gain weight back. So I'm going to continue to do everything that I'm doing now and just continue to get healthier and tone up some areas that aren't going to get fixed with surgery that I need to work on as well.
Yeah. As for me, I guess, after, my announcement is I'm going to get a Brazilian butt lift. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh my God.
Not really. But no, I'm just going to keep up the same thing as well. I mean, try to, increase my activity a little bit, right? So I think cardio is important, to get the heart rate up. So a little bit more of that, I think, and once I get to my goal weight, which I'm relatively close to, I was thinking about maybe reducing the fasting to 1 day a week and see how that goes. If I need to go back to 2, it's fine, but I feel like this is like a lifestyle for us now.
Yeah.
Like, I could easily just keep doing this forever, and it's,
Yes.
It's just part of what we do, and,
Yes.
and it seems to work, so, yeah.
Well, guys, thank you guys so much for joining us in today's video. Again, we will link the things mentioned in the description box down below in case you are interested. And we will go ahead and insert some pictures right here of our before and after in our journey. Thanks. Thanks. We'll see you soon. Bye.